Welcome, Trailblazers, to Release Readiness Live. My name is Ayori Selassie, and I'll be your host today as we walk through the latest and greatest enhancements for the Spring 18 release. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are in the world. We're so excited to have you. What I love about Release Readiness Live is that no matter what kind of trailblazer you are, whether this is your very first major product release, or if you've already started testing out features in your pre-release and sandbox environments, this broadcast is perfect for you because you get to ask all the questions of our product managers. And to walk us through that process is our incredible, amazing community rock star, Elna Miller. She's going to tell us where to go to ask those questions. Elna?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Day 2, Release Readiness Live, Spring 18. Please give us all the questions that you have today. We're going to answer as many as we can live as possible. You can post shout-outs and feedback and reactions in Twitter. Make sure to use the hashtag Salesforce Live and post your questions in the Release Readiness group in the Trailblazer community. We're going to be watching that group and the Twitter feed during the broadcast, so get those fingers ready and post those questions. And now let's hear more about Sales Cloud.
Yes, we're going to be here all week covering all of the different clouds, and today we're going to be focused on Sales Cloud. We will be talking about roadmap. Our product managers are going to go through some of the roadmap for 2018, and we just have to take a moment to remind you that we will be making forward-looking statements, so please make your purchasing decisions based on what's currently available. And with that, let's meet our product managers.
Hi, I'm Stephen Shu. I run product management for some of our core sales features, and I'll be going through the latest and greatest with you today.
Hi, I'm Anand. I'm going to cover sales productivity enhancements in Spring 18 today.
Hi, I'm Jason Selvage. I'll be covering Sales Cloud Einstein in the Spring 18 release.
Hi, I'm Liz Skates, and I'm from the analytics team, and I will be covering the reports and dashboards features.
All right, let's get started with core sales. One thing that was a big takeaway for a lot of us going into Dreamforce this last year was that a lot of our conversations with customers, big and small, were about how they can move on to Lightning. A lot of innovation has happened over the last few years, a lot of cool new features that just weren't available in Classic. And so we are doubling down more in 2018 with Lightning themes like Lightning Depth, where we can help our customers get from lead to cash, get the revenue up. Intelligence, which Jason will be speaking about, so that our customers can make faster decisions and smart decisions. And with inside sales, we're seeing a rising tide in terms of activity in the office. So we have a whole bunch of productivity features there. Speaking of productivity, we also are focusing on email and calendar integrations so that you can work wherever you want. Salesforce travels with you. Starting with campaign management, we want to make sure that our marketers are managing their campaigns more effectively than ever before. You can easily add campaign members from the campaign record experience now. And with a standard report type for customizable campaign influence, it's easier ever to report on your ROI for your campaigns. And with much feedback on the success of the path component, we are now bringing path to campaigns so you can create repeatable processes for your campaigns. With leads and lead convert, as you know, in the winter release, we released our new lead conversion experience, retired thousands of idea exchange points, and a lot of great reviews on the success community coming out of this. And our great admins are now providing feedback on what kind of settings they want to customize that experience. And with the spring release, we'll have some new opportunity settings. So you can hide the opportunity section from that experience, or you can select the don't create an opportunity by default in that window. We also have a new integration with LinkedIn. So if you run campaigns on LinkedIn with social media, you can automatically create and map the lead gen from LinkedIn directly into Salesforce leads. And I'll show you a little bit about that in our demo today. With duplicate management, we have an incredible new feature that's getting a ton of reviews, great reviews from admins, which is our duplicate jobs feature. This is available for our Ultimate and Performance editions so that admins, your data stewards, can run this across your accounts, personal accounts, contacts, leads in one fell swoop, manage the merge flow, and also just take care of all that from setup instead of having to deal with that at the individual record level. If you run account-based marketing campaign programs, we now have a matched leads component if you use Pardot, so that when you're on an account, we show what leads are matched to that account, and you can convert them from the account page. I'll also show you that in the demo. With account enhancements, we continue to focus on making sure the experience is easy to manage within Lightning. We now have added path on accounts as well as person accounts. And whereas before we had our baked in fields that you can add to that experience, but now you can use any custom pick list for that path, which is huge because a lot of our customers have been trying to extend that capability to new use cases we never even imagined. Person accounts is now supported in Financial Services Cloud. Lightning Sync for person accounts is available, and we have additional UI enhancements just across the board on accounts as well. For opportunity enhancements, we now finally have opportunity splits in Lightning. This was a big gap between Classic and Lightning, and a lot of customers have been asking this for years. We now have that, and I'll show you that in a couple minutes. You can now multi-add and multi-edit opportunity contact roles instead of having to add them individually. So this is just like Classic as well now. And we have multiple enhancements to the product selection experience. With territory management, if you're doing reports on them, on opportunities, we now have a territory filter, so you can filter those opportunity reports by territory. And we have a new related list component that will show you the users on the assigned territories on the account. And so with that, I'm going to jump straight into our demo. And we land on our home page. I'm a sales rep, I'm on home. One of the most highly trafficked pages on Salesforce. I can see my quarterly performance. I see news below. And on the right, I can see today's tasks, followed by Einstein Insights. And I can see under my task component, I have a new task that's due today that says check new leads on Cirrus. If I hover over the Cirrus Corporation account, I can see my preview of information. You'll see a new icon in the upper right-hand corner that allows me to go to the account hierarchy. This is new. This gives some more visibility to the account hierarchy experience as well as contact hierarchy if you're using that. And I can click through to go and manage my accounts in the hierarchy. But I'm going to click through to Cirrus Corporation to land on the account page. I see my information on the left. And at the top, I can see my related list quick links. So I can hop straight to those related lists. And for this demo, I'll just use that to show you what's new. You'll see in the second one, I can see users in assigned territories. So this is an easy way for quick reference for what users are in there, and I can manage them straight from here. I see my activity below, and on the right, I see Einstein Insights, as well as my new matched leads component. I have a new lead here that was matched coming in from an outside source, James Benzinger. He is a VP of Infrastructure. Right from here, I can convert this guy straight into the account. This is different because before you would have to manage the leads and then find which account you want to match them to. But from the account experience now, you can add the lead to the account. And you can go through the entire flow that we released in the wintertime. But I'm going to do this in one step later because I want to drill into James Benzinger so I can show you where this lead came from. On the lead record, if I scroll down a bit and I go to the details of this lead, you'll see a few new fields. The first one is LinkedIn Lead Gen Custom 1 question. With the new LinkedIn campaign integration, you can create up to 3 questions in LinkedIn, ask your prospects questions that you determine. And in this case, we asked, are you interested in a trial? And the lead said yes. They were at the regional conference. They like to get hands-on. That's validated by the fact that we can show that this person was at the regional conference in campaign history. So this is enough for me to convert this lead. I'll go ahead and launch that lead conversion experience now. I'm going to convert that person to the lead to the Cirrus Corporation account that I was just on, create a new account, and I'm going to create a new opportunity as well. And I'll just call that new to fast track this process, and I'll go ahead and convert. Once this is converted, I'm going to jump over to the opportunity right here, and I'll show you some new features coming to the opportunity experience. Now, we see the path at the top. I'm going to use related list quick links as well. Now, from this experience, I can see my opportunity team. And one of the new features I can add here is just automatically add the account team to this opportunity. So with just one button click, I've now added all the account members to the opportunity. Super easy to do. I now have opportunity splits, and I can edit the opportunity splits across all my account team members just from this experience as well. And with contact roles, I can click on this new button, Manage Contact Roles, and I can add multiple people to this experience as well. And I can specify that James Benzinger might be the decision maker. So once I've done that, I want to make sure that this lead, which is now a contact, is added to a campaign that's running. And to do that, I'm going to go to my campaigns. I have a campaign that I have at standby called New Trial Campaign, because we're going to get that person started. And from here, if I go down to the campaign members component, I can go quickly to add contacts, and I can just add James Benziger to the campaign now. Go ahead and submit, and we're off to the races. James is now part of the account. Our opportunity team is working on it, and they're also getting, they're privy to this new campaign experience that's going on around new trials. And with that, I'll pass this on to Anand to go through the next section.
So that was really incredible, Stephen. I mean, I think those core enhancements really add a lot of value to our users. I wonder what our Trailblazer community has to say about that. So let's check in and see what questions we have.
All right, yeah, that was a rapid fire demo there. So let me see what we do have some questions and some shout outs. First, I want to give a shout out to one of our MVPs, Steve Moe, who's really excited about the Don't Create an Opportunity on Lead Convert. That's a big winner. So sometimes it's those little things that really make people happy, especially the admins out there. So thanks, Steve, for that shout out. And also Adam says, wow, the LinkedIn lead integration looks awesome. Way to go. So shout out for that one from Adam. And then there's a question from Heather that actually was posted yesterday. That one is for Liz, so we'll get to that one a little bit later. So a couple more questions, and then we'll be ready to move on to the next section. So for the LinkedIn lead gen, what channels are supported for that?
Oh, the channels for LinkedIn are dynamic content, sponsored email ads, as well as the standard LinkedIn lead gen forms. And architecturally, everything that they're creating, at least with our partnership with them, they're just funneling automatically straight to Salesforce leads.
That's super.
Another question we get a lot is on cloning with products. Is that on the roadmap?
Yes, that's coming soon. It's on the roadmap. And feel free to post to the community if you have any other specific requirements, but it's coming.
Yeah, great for those folks who have that kind of template sale with a lot of products attached. And loving that Path is now available on both accounts and campaigns. What about for contacts? While we're at it, let's just move on to other objects.
Yeah, so there's a great thread in the success community going on already, and we're pouring through it to get more requirements around what we want to do. A lot of our customers are using contacts like they are with leads, so we're getting some kind of overlap there and seeing how we can make sure that customers can use both or either. But if you have any other requirements or use cases, feel free to just jump on that thread or mention me directly, and I'll make sure it gets on the roadmap.
Great. That one was for Jason. He just asked that in the community. And then Deborah was asking, is the LinkedIn component available for all editions or just certain ones?
That should be all editions.
Great. All editions. All right. Next question. I think this will be the last one. So with territory management, can you trigger a territory assignment when the account is updated in the UI as opposed to the API?
Yes, that's known and also on the roadmap as well.
Excellent. Awesome.
All right.
Thank you so much, Elna, and thank you to all of our community members for posting those incredible questions. Keep them coming. So Anand, you're going to talk with us about productivity.
Yes, thank you, Ayori. Sales productivity has been the #1 feedback that our customers have given from Lightning. It's one of the biggest advantages of being on Lightning. So with that, let's look at what we have in store for Spring 18. The first thing I want to call out is Lightning Console for Sales. The Lightning Console is a high productivity workspace that was built with the inside sales rep in mind. That said, we are seeing sales users across different roles really taking the Lightning Console for sales to their liking. New in Spring 18 is pinned regions. So we've got 3 new templates with pinned regions like the top bar and the left bar that you can create record pages from. What this means is as you navigate to related records on subtabs, you can basically keep your account actions and your account details on the same page. So as you look at related contacts, related cases, you still can have access to the account details and the account actions. We also have support for third-party applications consuming the web tabs within the Lightning console. And finally, Lightning component overrides lets an admin or a developer define what the users see when they edit, create, or view list view for objects. We introduced list email in the Winter 18 release, and with the Spring 18 release, we've added a few enhancements to it. First on the list is the list email object home. This is one place where you can go see all your list emails and also send list emails from here. We've also enhanced the template experience by letting you access the most recent templates that you've sent, be it through Classic or Lightning. And this can be a huge time saver because if you're sending the same email templates again and again, you have easier access to it now. Also, we are letting you map your business process to your email much better by letting you predefine two CC and BCC values. And for our platform encryption customers, we have support for platform encryption for email as a pilot. Activity management is something near and dear to my heart. We introduced task reminders in the winter release, and with the spring release, we are bringing event reminders to Lightning as well. We're building on top of the in-app notification framework that we introduced in winter, and in addition to that is a single-click button to clear your reminders that you have. We also heard feedback from users that they want to see more activities on records to be able to gain context quickly, and that is better in Spring 18 with letting users choose how many activities they want to view on the activity timeline right in line. Also, we're basically bringing in platform encryption support for the activity description field. Calendar, you can now bring your leads, your contacts, your accounts, send them invites from your calendar within Salesforce, and we use your on-premise Exchange to send the invites out. New in Spring 18 is the support for Exchange 2013 and 2016. This is building on top of our support for Office 365 and Google Calendar.
That's huge.
Also new in Spring is auto-relating of attendees in Calendar. So when you add an attendee, we auto-relate the contact or the lead record to the event, which means that when you view the right lead or contact, you see the event details in the activity history.
Nice.
Finally, you can now, on calendars that have been shared with you, you can also edit those events with the right permissions. Lightning Dialer is our telephony solution for inbound and outbound calling built within Lightning. And new in Spring 18 for Lightning Dialer is call monitoring capability. So sales managers can now listen into conversations that his or her sales reps are doing. And this is a one-way audio conversation. And they can provide guidance, they can provide feedback to their reps, make them do the things that they do better repeatedly, and also provide the right guidance for success. Also, in Spring is support for the do not call field on contacts, leads, accounts, and person accounts. With this, we respect the do not call field and disable single-click calling from the record.
Excellent.
With that said, let's look at some of these features in a quick demo.
All right, demo time. It's our favorite time.
Okay, so as a sales manager, I start my day in Lightning Home, and the first thing I like to do is look at my calendar. The calendar here, I have access to my calendar, which could be the objects that I've created calendar on or calendar shared with me. The first thing I want to call out is the reminder field now. So you have the ability to create reminders within Lightning. So if I were to create an event, I can now select a time that I wanted to be reminded on. I'm going to go ahead and save this. Second thing that is new in Spring is now that Michael is sharing his calendar with me, and I can now edit events that I have been shared on the calendar right from within the calendar UI. I don't have to navigate back and forth. So I click onto this event. something just popped in. I have an event at 10 o'clock, and this is the new reminder UI in Lightning, where I have been reminded I have a demo event at 10 a.m. So I'm going to dismiss the reminder from here, or I can click into the event to navigate to it. So editing the event that I have on a shared calendar, I can go ahead and edit the event and click save. I don't have to navigate back and forth. Big time saver for me. Next, I'm going to look at some of the contacts I have. So jumping into Lauren, the first thing I basically see different in Spring is now I don't have to click the load more past activities button multiple times to view more activities. I can now select the number of activities I want to load. This is a big time saver because I now can select the number of activities I want to get context faster. And also in Winter, we bought the view all page, which lets you view all your activities on a single page.
Wow, that's awesome.
Okay. There is in the email action that you have in Lightning, the big time saver is the recently used templates. So if you're using email actions in Lightning, you have access to the templates that you most frequently used. And if I'm an inside sales rep and I'm using the same templates over and over, the time saving that I have here adds up pretty quickly. I see a list email that was sent here and I want to review it, but I just don't want to review the list email on this contact. What I want to do is actually review the list emails that have been sent out by my team. And new in Spring is the ability to view list emails in a object home. So I can view all my list emails that were sent out by my team. I can send a new list email and put a list view up here. This is new, and this really helps me stay on top of the mass communication happening by my team.
That is incredible. That's super cool.
Right. One last thing I want to call out. As a sales manager, working with my sales rep and using Lightning Dialer, I now have the ability to coach my reps and basically provide them feedback. New in Spring is the ability to monitor calls. So Michael is a rep in my team, and I can now monitor conversations that Michael is having. To do that, I basically just click on listen, and I will be joining the next call that Michael is on. Let's look at how this goes from Michael's perspective. So I'm basically now logged in as Michael. I have a lead that I want to reach out to. I click on the phone number. This brings up Lightning Dialer. And once I'm on the manager screen, I should be able to dial in. I should be able to listen to the conversation. So call is in progress. On the sales rep screen, he gets a notification that the call is in progress. And then I can also, at the same time, create notes and share the notes with Michael. As Michael gets off the call, I'm ready to jump onto the next call. I can only join the next call. I cannot join a call in progress. And this is a great win for sales enablement and basically putting repeatability for success.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's going to really help managers to be the best manager and also make reps as good as they can be as well.
Yes. That is a small snippet of some of the productivity enhancements we have in Spring 18. There's a lot more that we're coming out with, and I basically encourage users to go through the release notes. But these are some of the things I wanted to call out.
Excellent. Thank you, Anand. So I'm sure you're all loving those productivity enhancements and have lots of questions. So Elna, what are we hearing out there from our peeps?
Oh my gosh, tons and tons of questions. But let me start with some shout outs, first of all. Again, Steve Moe, he says, loving the console for sales. Event reminders, they're always a big hit. Melinda says, more reminder options, yay. Benjamin says, clear all activity reminders with a single click, thank you. So big shout out there for that one. Again, one of those little things that really makes it quicker to work there. Alina has a question about integrated email. So wants to know, when you send an email from Salesforce, can you use the send on behalf of user, or is it always going to be sent as that actual user's name?
I am not the product manager directly for that feature, but I can check and we can get back to this question offline.
Will do, yeah. So I think she posted that in the community, but if you haven't, Alina, make sure it's in the Release Readiness group and we'll loop in with you again. Nana was asking, what about sharing a calendar that I created from an object with other people? I think that's one we discussed just before the webcast. So any news on that one, or should we circle back with her on that as well?
We can bring in the right calendar PM on this, and we can discuss how this is a benefit to our users. But yeah, we'll have to loop in offline on this.
I totally get that one. I need that myself, actually, yes. For something we're doing at Salesforce. And Susanna says, love the new event notifications. Will we be able to invite event attendees to accept or decline event invites in Lightning?
Yes, if you can basically enable Lightning Sync and put attendees in your events, and as your invitees and attendees accept or decline these, they surface up right in Lightning.
Great. How about international support for Lightning Dialer? More than US and Canada, is that on the roadmap?
It is on the short-term roadmap, yes.
We get asked that every time, I think. So it's coming. And what about call recording? This is from Sarah.
Call recording is definitely within our short-term roadmap, and we could see it as early as next week. Safe harbor statement, yes.
Next release.
Next release, yes. Sorry, my bad. Next release, yes.
Another great question from Deborah. For the product selector, what about searching for products based on any product field? And will product selector improvements include products for opportunities, quotes, and orders? So that's a two-part question.
That one we have to loop in the pipeline experience PM offline as well.
Yeah, and James is also asking about, this is a very popular question about sharing calendars on objects, so James will get back to you on that. And what about user-based calendar integration instead of org-wide? This one might be a little bit tricky. This Daria, it's an API question, so we'll circle back with you on that one. And Peggy says, did I hear correctly? Did he say that we can now predefine the two CC and BCC in email templates?
Yes, that's available in Spring.
So that would be a yes, Peggy.
Nice.
And then there's a question on dashboard subscriptions from Nancy. In the Spring 18 release notes, it had mentioned that subscriptions to dashboards would be available. So we might take that question in, Liz, in your section, or she may be covering that. So hold on for that. Now, I do have a bunch of other questions coming in that I'm kind of organizing. So Ayori, if you don't mind, I would love to circle back to some of these if we have time at the end.
Okay, let's make sure we have time because we really want to get to all those questions. Super excited to hear what you have to share, Jason, around Sales Cloud Einstein.
Thank you, Ayori. Yeah, so I'm talking now about the Sales Cloud Einstein offering in spring of 18. So for those of you who are not yet familiar with what Einstein is trying to do, we are taking the CRM data that's inside of your CRM system that you've been collecting over the years, we're giving it to Einstein, and he is taking it and analyzing all of the history, the past history on a lot of the different objects that you have in your system, and he's using that in order to make your lead to cash process, every step of your lead to cash process more intelligent. And the way that he does this, so first, every Einstein problem starts with the collection of data. So your reps have already been manually entering this in over the years. By adding Sales Cloud Einstein to your feature set, we're giving you your sales reps the ability to spend more time selling rather than entering the data into the CRM system by allowing Einstein to automatically capture that. So we're capturing, if you connect up your email and calendar to your CRM system, then we're going to start capturing your activities and automatically attaching those to the appropriate records. We're also, by analyzing your activity capture, able to identify some of the contexts that exist in maybe email but are not yet into the CRM system. So Einstein is able to find those and then add them to the system for you. So once you have all the data collected, now you have, your sales reps have issues with maybe too many leads. So the next thing we're going to give you is Einstein lead scoring, which allows your reps to prioritize the list of leads from the highest down to the lowest, where the highest scores indicate that these leads are the most likely to convert to a contact, opportunity, and an account based on historical data. So what are the standard fields and the custom fields that are highly correlated to a lead converting to account, contact, and opportunity? Once you've gotten the leads to convert, then we want to bring information that we're able to gather, that Einstein is able to gather and present to you on different objects. So first we'll take a look at Einstein Account Insights. Einstein is working 24/7 to go out and search all of the thousands and thousands of news feeds out there, the US-based news feeds, looking for information about your accounts that are changing. So these might be things like mergers and acquisitions, or the company is expanding. And as soon as he finds that information in the news feed, he's going to alert your reps on the account page and on the home page and present those as account insights, so that your sales rep have the information when they need it, so that they can accelerate these sales. Similarly, with the Einstein Opportunity Insights, Einstein is looking at the activity data, looking at all of the related objects connected up to opportunity and the past history, and analyzing it to make sure that he's able to send you alerts on opportunities when things aren't going as expected. So maybe an opportunity based on your historical data is moving faster through the stages than necessary. That's great. Sometimes they're moving a little bit slower through the opportunity stages, so he'll also alert you about that and maybe recommend some follow-up actions for you to take. So those are the great features that our Sales Cloud, existing Sales Cloud Einstein customers are already familiar with, and we're adding 3 new ones in the Spring 18 release. And those are Einstein Email Insights, Einstein Opportunity Scoring, and Einstein Forecasting. And I'll be talking about those in a little bit. So before I do that, though, our existing Einstein customers are really going to be able to take advantage of 3 different features inside of Sales Cloud Einstein. And the first part is the intelligence part, which I was just talking about with lead scoring and opportunity scoring. We're giving your reps the ability to identify which leads and opportunities they should be following up with first, based on their likelihood to close. But in addition to that, we're also giving our Sales Cloud existing Sales Cloud customers, Einstein customers in Spring 18, the ability to look at trends in the Einstein Analytics sales app. And this comes with 40 prepackaged key performance indicators that help you use those trends to indicate what is the next action you should take based on what you're seeing on a bigger level. And I also mentioned that this Sales Cloud Einstein comes with the productivity tools, which helps your sales reps spend more time selling and less time entering data into the CRM systems.
That's awesome, Jason. It just really sounds like Einstein is helping our managers and our reps get smarter across the board.
Both. That's right. And our existing customers are already telling us that this is helping them increase their win rates by 30%. So we're super excited to offer them more features to help them with this.
Awesome.
So let's talk about so the 3 new features that we have in Sales Cloud Einstein on the intelligence part of it is we're hearing from our customers they really love Inbox. So we're adding that feature to Sales Cloud Einstein existing customers and allowing them to have this in Spring 18, and then adding Einstein to the inbox experience. So imagine the sales rep is out the whole day selling, they come back and they have a ton of emails in their inbox. Einstein helps you identify what are the most important emails waiting for you, as well as maybe insights about those important emails. Maybe a competitor was mentioned in an email exchange, or maybe an amount was mentioned on a deal that you're trying to close. And those are the things that Einstein can help you with as far as the email insights are concerned. And for the other features, I'd like to switch over to a demo and then demo the new features inside of the actual app itself. So the next feature we're adding for Sales Cloud Einstein Spring 18 is opportunity scoring. So again, you have your list of opportunities in front of you, and you want to know where should I be spending my time, and we're going to do that by ranking the opportunities based on score, where the highest scores are indicative of that particular opportunity most likely to reach the closed won state based on all of the historical data that's in your CRM system. So what does the data look like in your org? What is the sales process that you use in your org? These are, Einstein is looking at that data and making specific scores and insights about those opportunities based on how your sales process works. So let's just take a look at the top opportunity here. If we drill down into that, then your reps can see by hovering over the score in the highlight panel, what are the things that are driving Einstein to come up with a score of 72? So in this particular case, we have top positives. Opportunity is moving quicker through the stages than we've seen in the past on other successful opportunities. And the close date on this particular opportunity was moved earlier. So again, these top positives are specific to your org and how your org works with the sales process. But Einstein's not going to give you a perfect score on this one because what he's noticed is with this particular account, there have been past lost opportunities. So he's going to lower the score just a little bit. And with all of those opportunities available in one list view, you can then know where to spend your time on deals to get them to the closed won state. And for the lower scores, maybe you give them additional resources so you can help bring them up to a higher score and maybe get some extra opportunities closed in that segment. So each of your individual reps is working on the opportunities, and now I'm logged in here as Scott, who's a sales leader in his organization. He has a team of sales reps. And so what he's going to do is he's going to use Einstein forecasting to predict what that month is going to look like as far as revenue. And the great thing about this is that you have your standard forecast, which is like your best guesses as to what your team thinks it's going to be able to do. And Einstein is showing you on this particular chart, the blue line is indicative of what Einstein is predicting deals are going to close along the days of the month so that they can reach that final number. Let's drill down into the forecasting and see the individual forecast numbers. So on this particular view, we're looking at the next 3 months. So we have December, January, and February. And Scott wants to know what is the forecast for January. What is his team going to close? So if you look at that particular row, his team says somewhere in between 8.6 million and 11.9 million is what we're thinking about. That's a huge range. That's like 20% range. But Einstein, he's going to look at the individual selling behaviors of each of the individuals on the team and the team dynamics. Some people may be a little bit more aggressive in what they're forecasting. Some people a little bit less aggressive. Some are right on target. Einstein is looking at each one of those different behaviors of individuals, looking at past history, and then is making a prediction on each one of those individuals. And then we roll it up into Scott's team prediction for the month of January, which is 8.976 million. So let's take a look at why Einstein thinks that they're going to reach that number. So if you click on the Einstein prediction, you get this Einstein prediction details panel on the right-hand side. And you'll see that 1.3 million has already been closed. And Einstein predicts that by looking at historic data, the wins from the existing deals that are already in your pipeline are going to be an additional $8.1 million. And here's the cool part is these are, he's also predicting an additional $1 million of deals that are going to close in the next, by the end of January that aren't yet in your pipeline. So of course we have the adjustments to deals that are closed. Einstein predicts 1.5 million is going to be adjusted, so that brings in a total of $9 million for the close of January, plus or minus a 5% range. Einstein, based on his ability to analyze and run machine learning algorithms on top of that data, is able to predict more precisely than what a human's guesswork is gonna be able to predict, and that's really the beauty of this of Einstein forecasting. It's really a game changer, and our customers are telling that this is something huge. So one thing I want to note here is that for existing Sales Cloud customers in spring of 18, this is an open beta, so feel free to enable this. All right. One final thing I want to talk about in the Spring 18 release is we've listened to our admins who have enabled Sales Cloud Einstein, and we've heard them say it's a little bit cumbersome to assign people to two different permission sets, one for Sales Cloud Einstein, one for the Einstein Analytics part of it. So we've created one permission set, and we created a standard permission set in Spring 18 called Sales Cloud Einstein. And inside of there, we've already pre-enabled all of the different features inside of Sales Cloud Einstein. So all of the 8 ones that I've already covered, the new ones are there: opportunity scoring, Einstein forecasting, and inbox. And we've also put in there, in the standard permission set, the Einstein Analytics perms that are needed to open up those apps and dashboards inside of the Einstein Analytics app. So now all you have to do is click on Manage Assignments, add the sales reps that you want to have access to this information, and you're good to go.
Awesome. That's incredible. So folks, check out the forecasting beta. Start testing those features out if you haven't already. Lots of information in the release notes to get you started. And what I really love about how we've rolled this out differently than some features in the past is that those perm sets features are it's just making it so easy to activate them and get started.
That's right. That's right. We're out of the box. They'll already have a permission set already set up for them. Everything's already enabled. Just add the people who you want to have those permissions.
Awesome.
Yep.
So, Elna, do we have any questions from our peeps out there?
Yes, we do, and they are continuing to come in, so keep them coming, especially in the Trailblazer community, where we can follow up with you afterwards if we don't get to it on the air, because we have a large volume of questions coming in, and so let me see if I can get through them really fast. First, we have a shout out from Melinda. Opportunity scoring is awesome. Thank you, Melinda, and thank you for that, Einstein team. And Structure is also saying he loves the Einstein for Inbox. He can't wait to demo it for his clients. And are there any plans to have email to lead creation so that many leads right now have to be added as they are business association referrals and not web generated?
So I'm not the PM for that particular area, but I can tell you that we're working on campaigns and other lead generation integrations so that they'll automatically be entered as leads into the CRM system. But let me follow up with the PM for that feature, and if you add your question to the support community, then we'll be able to get you an answer there.
Question about how Einstein does the analysis from Josh. So does it actually look at the data by rep? Like, for example, if you have, let's say, an enterprise rep that has a longer sales cycle of 8 months, then you have another rep who has maybe a 3-month cycle, does it kind of give them different recommendations based on their typical behavior or typical process?
That's a good question. So we look at, yes, the answer is yes. We do look at individually for each rep, and we go back 2 years in time and look at how this particular rep individually sells and what products they're responsible for. We follow we look at the patterns that we find for that individual rep, whether they're a little bit aggressive, a little bit careful on the predictions or on the what they're committing to, and what they actually close over time, and how long it takes them to go through certain stages of the opportunity record. We're really looking at opportunity data, account data, opportunity contact rule, opportunity history. So there's tons of information that Einstein is analyzing in order to make these predictions.
So that's really incredible, because that means, when it comes to forecasting, you're able to see everything rolling up for the entire team, but then also see those differences for each individual rep and whatever segment there are.
That's correct, yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Now, in order for Einstein to really be able to analyze data and give you good recommendations, Josh is asking, is it best to wait until you have a long history of accurate data? Like, let's say you have data quality issues, or perhaps you haven't had Salesforce for that long. What's the best way to know when's the best timing to implement Einstein?
So Sales Cloud Einstein has some features that are available right away without any data in them. So if you take a look at Account Insights, that's just looking at news feeds, and that's right out of the box. If you have accounts in your CRM system, you're going to get insights about them. Others, for Einstein lead scoring, we require that you have 6 months worth of data and averaging 1,000 leads over the past 6 months of newly created leads, and then about 20 converted leads per month at a bare minimum. So for that feature, you're going to need at least 6 months worth of good data in there. Other features like forecasting, like we like to have about 2 years worth of data. So, but these are things that, you're getting so much more than just one particular feature inside of Sales Cloud Einstein. And so I think if you have, I'd say at least 6 months worth of data in your CRM system, you're going to get huge benefits out of Sales Cloud Einstein right out of the box.
Right. Now, Jeff has a really burning question. In fact, he posted it both on Twitter and in the community, so I want to make sure we get to this. On the news sources that Einstein scores, can you add custom news sources like trade magazines or websites as opposed to large public news sources?
That is a good question. I don't know the answer to that one specifically. I will talk to our PM. I know that we are scouring like thousands and thousands of publicly available news sources, so your news sources may already be part of that spidering process. If it's not, though, let me get back to you on the success community about whether or not it's possible to specify your own news sources. And
please add those specific news sources that you're interested in to your comment as well. That'll help us to compare that with all the other inquiries that we're getting.
That's right. Good point.
All right. So Alan has a question about configuring lead scoring. So will individual users be able to configure it to cater to their specific needs, or will it be org-wide functionality that's governed by the awesome admin?
So, the configuration of each of the Sales Cloud Einstein features is a really big topic right now, and then I'll be talking about that in the roadmap. But for now, when you set up Einstein lead scoring, there's a configuration option that you can choose whether or not your leads convert only to accounts and contacts, or whether they convert to accounts, contacts, and opportunities at the lead conversion time. And that's about the only thing you can configure today. I will be talking about more configuration options when we get to the roadmap part of it.
All right. I got one more question from Vivian, and then I'll hand it back to you, Ayori. So she's wondering, if you're using contacts instead of leads, will that actually dilute the data Einstein is using behind the scenes, or what kind of an impact will that have?
So most of our customers are using both leads and contacts. So the leads are coming in from maybe a marketing campaign or something, and then once you convert them, the lead goes away. It's locked. You can't really see it anymore. It's still there in the system, but it gets locked and it gets converted into a contact and an account. So there's benefit in both having leads and then looking at contacts as well. They will influence different things. So a contact will influence an opportunity score based on how you have used the opportunity contact role. If there's only one contact assigned to an opportunity, then there's no problem if you don't use the opportunity contact role. But if there are multiple contacts, then that's going to help influence opportunity score. Lead scoring, there's just, there's only one object we're looking at, which is leads. And we're looking at all the standard fields and custom fields on that object. And so you really only get scoring for leads and not for contacts. Contact scoring is something we're looking at, but mostly people have been asking for opportunity scoring.
All right. Cool. Thanks so much for all those questions. Keep them coming. We've got a little bit of time, and we'll be taking more questions about roadmap stuff toward the end. But now I want to switch over to our incredible reports and dashboard functionality, and Liz is going to walk us through all of that.
Thank you, Ayori. So with Spring 18, we've definitely heard a lot of the feedback from our users about how they really need a lot more help in being able to find and access their folders of reports and dashboards, as well as just get more functionality in Lightning when they're creating their reports and dashboards. So with that, I'm happy to share that in Spring 18, now you can actually search for your folders in that global search box at the top of your screen in Lightning, as well as once you get to your folder, you can actually favorite it so that you can access it more easily, not just through search. So really great ways for you to access your folders of reports and dashboards now. And then in addition, Lightning Report Builder, which debuted in beta status in winter, now has a lot more features in spring. It's still in beta status, so you still have to opt in and enable it, but now you've got a lot more additional functionality that you'll need for your reports, such as bucketing, cross filters.
Yes.
Custom summary formulas. I already, role hierarchy filters, and then just simple things like editing the report properties, which you're very used to doing in Classic. So we've added some really major functionality that people have been asking for, so you should be able to create most of your reports in Lightning now.
Thank you, Liz.
You're welcome. And then also with dashboards, really cool thing, now you can actually choose themes for your dashboard. So you can have a light theme or a dark theme, and you can also customize it so that certain components have the light or dark. And then you can also choose from a set of color palettes for your charts to use in your dashboards.
Excellent.
And in addition, Lightning Tables, which debuted in beta status in winter, are now generally available in spring. And now they are full featured so that you can have your chatter photos, you can apply conditional highlighting, and you can see the totals in those Lightning tables. And then finally, dashboard subscriptions, which I don't know if all of you knew, but it was in pilot status. It was a closed pilot in winter. Now in spring, it's generally available. So now up to 5 users, each user can subscribe to up to 5 dashboards and get them emailed to them.
Awesome.
All right. And so with that, I want to show you these features in action. So I'm going to switch over to my demo.
Demo time.
Demo. And so I'm going to show you here. So I'm logged into Lightning right now, and just regardless of where I am, I'm looking at opportunities right now. I might want to look for my folder of reports, and I know it's a sales folder, so I'm just going to type in sales, hit return, and I get a set of search results. Now, if I haven't been using folders a lot, it might not show up already, because we by default just show you like the most searched objects that you've been using. But if you don't see it, you can always click show more here, and then scroll down to where there's folders. And then you'll see any of the folders that match what you searched on. And I'm looking for my Sales Manager Reports folder. And I can see here that it tells me if it's a report folder or a dashboard folder. I'm looking for my report folder. I can click in. So now it's showing me all the reports that are in that particular report folder. And let's say, okay, I found my folder. I want to favorite it. So in the upper right-hand corner, I can click on this star so that now it's now favorited. And so when I'm in my Reports tab, I might be looking at reports, but then down here there's this section called favorites, and I can click on all favorites to see all the reports and all the report folders that I've favorited. And I can tell it's a folder because of this folder icon here. And so now I can just go into my folder again. So that's another way for me to get to my list of reports that I use the most. And so now, let's say I found my reports and I want to edit it. So I'm going to edit one of my reports in the new Lightning Report Builder. So I'm going to click Edit. And right away you'll notice in spring, now I know that even though I named my report Open Deals, it shows that it was made from the opportunities report type. That was a huge request. People were like, well, I created a report with a particular report type, but now I don't remember what it was. You need to show me what that was. So that's here, listed here. I can also edit the report name just by clicking on this pencil icon. But I also can edit those properties by going to the Properties modal. And I can name it, let's say, Open Deals Without Products, because I want to make some changes to this report. I can also move this to a different folder. So right now it's in the Sales Manager Reports folder. I can move it to another folder, let's say Public Reports, and hit Save. So that's all new. I want to make more changes to my report though. Let's say I want to not just see all open deals, but I also want to make sure that it's only the deals that are visible to this particular role. Click Done, so the role hierarchy filter is available to me. And in addition, I want to make sure that these are open deals that don't have products associated with them. So I'm going to add a cross filter. And I'm going to say that it should only show opportunities without products. And then something that a lot of people are asking for, and I'm sure Ayura, you've been looking for, is now I can also bucket my fields. So for example, I might want to know whether these deals are small, medium, or large deals. So I'm going to base that based on what the opportunity is worth. So I'm going to go to the amount field, And I'm going to say I want to bucket this column, and I'm going to call this deal size. And anything that's worth up to $1 million is considered small. Anything between 1 million and 2 million is considered medium. And anything larger than that is considered a large deal. And so now you'll see that the bucket appears as another column in my report. And I can treat it like another field in my report. For example, I can take this deal size field and I can group my rows by it. And so now you'll see that all my deals are organized by whether they're small, medium, or large. Not only can I group them, but I can go to the filters, and now my deal size bucket column is available as a filter. So that now I can say, do I want only certain size deals in my report? And then one final thing, what if I wanted to know, looks like I have a lot of small deals, but I want to know what % these small deals comprise of all of these open deals. So I would probably create a custom summary formula. So I would have this new option now to add a summary formula. And I have, in this big editor, I have access to all the fields that I can use in my formula. Let's say I want to know the percentage of each divided and how they comprise all of the deals. So I'm going to use this new function. Not a new function. It's the parent group val function. Let's see. Divided by the amount sum on the grand summary level. And this is going to be a formula that calculates the % of all deals. It will show me a percentage, and it will be applied to the deal size bucket grouping. And so now when I apply my formula, you'll see this additional column that shows that my small deals comprise 9.82% of all my deals, the medium ones are 15%, and the large ones are 74%. So there I've created my buckets and my custom summary formulas all in the new Lightning Report Builder. Next thing I wanted to show you is all those dashboards features. So if we go over to dashboards, and I wanted to edit one of my dashboards, you'll see now there's this gear icon that I can click on to see properties. And now, if I have the permissions to edit the themes and color palettes for dashboards, you can choose either a default light theme or a dark theme for your dashboard, as well as choose a color palette. So instead of like the Aurora color palette, I might choose the Wildflowers color palette. And so now you'll see the colors being used in my charts are slightly different. And then within the dashboard, each component could actually override the theme. So I could scroll down and say, well, for this particular component, even though the default is a light theme, I want to have a dark theme for that particular component. But the color palettes are consistent across the entire dashboard. In addition, the lightning tables, remember you can add up to 10 different columns in a lightning table now. They now have these options to show chatter photos, show totals for any numeric fields that you display, and apply conditional highlighting so that you can specify highlighting certain values. And then I can apply that, save it. And so now when I run my report, I can highlight certain components using that theming and also use different color palettes. It's refreshing right now, and you'll see that I could now maybe filter my dashboard down to only the ones that are in the qualification stage, and now you'll see that the lightning table also will update so that you only see opportunities in the qualification stage. Final thing, there's this new action now to subscribe to your dashboard. So you could choose to get your dashboards every so often, multiple times a week or just once a week. Save that subscription, and then every once in a while, it will refresh that dashboard and send that to you in your email.
Nice.
And that's all I had to show.
Super cool. I mean, amazing enhancements across reports and dashboards. As a power user myself, I'm curious about the builder, and I was just like so happy when I saw the report type capabilities being now displayed. Now, if I didn't create a report, is that report type still going to be shown for me?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
that's awesome.
Anyone editing it.
Okay,
yes,
cool.
yes.
I'm going to stop being selfish now and let our Trailblazer questions come in from Elma.
Oh my gosh, you guys are keeping me really busy. Thank you for all the questions. We're probably not going to get to all of them on the air, but we will certainly follow up with you in the community or Twitter afterwards. So let me start with some shout outs. So from Josh, Lightning Tables, so excited. That's in all caps, so that's really excited.
Nice.
Tonya says, thanks for the ability to favorite a report folder. I agree. I love that one. And she says this will be a big hit. Plus, she also loves the buckets. It's always great to have those features, those parity features in Lightning. Nana says, yay, report type names in the Lightning reports. Thank you. Again, it's the little things. You know, you just. Christopher also says the same thing about the report type. So that was a big hit. And then on to questions. So Randy, on the chart themes, report bucketing, huge win. What about charting equality with Classic? Are there any other remaining things there?
So I think we're pretty darn close to parity with Classic. Dashboard charts, I think as of the summer release, should pretty much be on par with Classic charts.
So Randy, if you have an example of something that you feel you can do in Classic that you can't yet do in Lightning, just go ahead and add that, and then we can address that specifically.
Okay.
And then Jenny and Megan and lots of people, I know, Liz, you've been collecting feedback on this in the community, but what about printable view, printable reports, exports, et cetera? We got to cover that one, of course.
I'm so glad you asked because it's my team that's been working on this printable view feature. And I recognize it as printable view, and when you say printable view, I know what you're asking for, but in reality, it's not what the feature does. And so we're building it for the summer 18 release. We're targeting this functionality in Lightning for summer 18. We're not going to call it printable view because in reality, it's an exporting your report to an Excel file. And whether you choose to print it from Excel is great, but we're actually only exporting it to Excel in a formatted way so that it looks very similar to what you see when you're running your report in Lightning. And so that is targeted for summer 18.
Yes, I have a special interest in that one because, you know, the thing about this, what I use it for is when you have a report that's built on many, many tens of thousands of records and you have a summary report and you really just want to export the summary totals. You don't want every single record in Excel, just those totals.
Yes.
Well, and so that's kind of why a lot of people do that printable view. But as you said, it's not really for printing. It's mainly just to get those formatted totals out, right?
Agreed.
Gotcha.
And keep the input coming. I've actually just recently posted in the Trailblazer community asking for feedback about the desired format for the output to Excel. So keep an eye out in the Reports and Dashboards chatter group, and please let me know what you think.
I'll also include a link to that in the Release Readiness Weekly Update. So if you download the weekly update, you can go right to that post. So more questions. There are lots more, and Aori, just let me know when I'm out of time. So this is from Heather, actually, yesterday, and this is another big topic, nested report folders. How about that one?
I'm also glad that was asked as well because that is also in development and currently targeted for summer 18 as well. So I had shown you how you could search for folders and favorite them, but people want to use folders more for more organization. So they've asked it for nested folders, and so we're calling it subfolders. We're planning to support a root folder as well as creating 3 levels of subfolders deep under a root folder. And all the subfolders in a root folder all have the same sharing permissions.
Great. And can you clarify again the number of report subscriptions? It's now limited to what it's now limited to, and if that limit will be increased in the future?
So dashboard subscriptions and report subscriptions both have the same limit of 5 per user. We are evaluating increasing that limit, but it probably won't happen for at least 2 releases at this point.
Julie brings up another great question. What about joined reports in Lightning?
That one we're also working on as well. We're planning in summer 18 for you to be able to view a joined report in Lightning, and that would be in beta status. Editing a joined report would come shortly afterwards.
Right. Okay, so now that we can favorite those report folders, can we move the report favorites from the bottom of the list to the top of the folder list? Like when you're looking at the report folders, will the favorites show up at the top?
In terms of the other views, in terms of your list of all folders?
I think that's what he's referring to, yes.
Yes. That is not available yet. I do want to follow up on that request, though, because we'd like to get your input, and hopefully we can get that on the roadmap if there's a lot of need for that.
I can see what he's saying, and it makes a lot of sense, because the general favorites has everything, and it's a smorgasbord of everything, and normally when you go to a tab for an object, you'll see your top 5 favorites for that object, so it'd be nice to see what are your top favorites in the reports tab as well.
I see. Okay,
right.
I see. So in the reports tab, there's a way to kind of drop down and see the favorite reports, but because it's a reports tab, we show the report favorites, but in terms of the folder favorites, yes, you'd have to be in the reports tab and go to the all favorites area.
Great. So Elna, I see the Twitter hashtag is super lit. There are lots of questions and also really fun gifts in there. Let's take one more question, and then we're going to do some roadmap, and then we'll come back for more questions.
All right, one more question. Perfect. From Randy. Custom summary formula fields, are they still at the end of the report, or can we now move them around?
Unfortunately, in Lightning, for this release, they have to be at the end of the report. We've heard your feedback that you want to be able to move them. We're going to see if we can squeeze it into one of the upcoming releases, but for now, they are still at the end of your report.
Cool. All right. Thanks, everyone, for those questions. Keep them coming. We've got time for more, but let's move on to roadmap. Stephen, what do we got?
All right, let's see what's coming. For core sales, we have a lot coming, and they're just piling on. So please send the feedback, because we're iterating on that right now. Starting with dependent pick list support for Path and Kanban. So that's been widely requested. I think there's a lot of idea exchange points out there and requests on the success community right now. Product schedules, lead convert with contacts to multiple accounts. Person accounts custom action is coming as well, also highly requested. Person account API is going to be in pilot with the next release, and we'll have product schedule forecast as well. How about with productivity?
We've got a great couple of releases ahead for sales productivity. First up, task list views. You've asked for it for multiple releases now, and we're finally going to be able to support task list views, creating list views, editing list views, be able to use tasks in a Kanban style. So that's coming. List email is coming, the ability to send list emails to campaign. 2 enhancements on the calendar front. There's recurring events, being able to create and sync recurring events, and also public calendar. There's also the dialer call recording capability that a question was posted about earlier. 2 other things that I want to call out is the ability to create multiple tasks to multiple assignees. This is something that we have in Classic, we're bringing into Lightning. And also the ability to use predefined subject values and be able to also type free-form text for a task subject value. So again, something which is really popular with our Classic users, we're bringing into Lightning.
Great.
For Sales Cloud Einstein, what we're looking at, so earlier we heard the question about how can I configure each of the different features. For the summer 18 release, we have plans to allow admins to customize the lead scoring model to start with, and then we're going to add the same configuration to the other features of the Sales Cloud Einstein. And so for what that means is the ability to filter out fields from being inputs to the model. Some people just don't want their certain custom fields or standard fields included in the training of these Einstein models, as well as records. So if you look at the different rows, the ability to be able to filter out records, some people just say, these leads are garbage, I don't even want them included in the model. And then after that, for the ones that are really useful, maybe segment that set of leads into different segments, maybe by product or maybe by geographic region, but the ability to have multiple models live for lead scoring based on maybe what team you're on, because some teams are just sell differently than others. So model customizations is sort of top of mind. Also for forecasting, we're doing a monthly forecasting right now. We want to roll that up into quarterly predictions. So that's on the roadmap. And then what's near and dear to me, been very closely with the lead scoring project for a long time, is the what we have for lead scores is a good profile fit, and we're identifying when the fields on your lead object for a particular record are highly correlated to leads that have converted in the past. And what we want to add to that is engagement history. So when a customer visits your website or maybe opens an email or downloads a white paper, that would increase the score, and then you would get a new score on that lead record based on how involved they are and how interested they are in your product. So.
Actually, I want to add one more to that list, because one of my day jobs in core sales, I moonlight as an Einstein PM.
Yeah.
And one thing that's coming in the next release will be support on mobile. So Einstein Insights will be on your mobile app. It's piloted right now, so you can actually just opt. If you're an Einstein customer, you can jump in there right now and turn it on and send us feedback. But that's coming to GA on both native and on iOS and Android.
Okay, thanks, Stephen.
And then with reports and dashboards, we have a lot coming down the pipe as well. So Spring 18 Lightning Report Builder is still in beta status, but Summer 18, it's targeted to be GA, generally available. We will have grouping by date ranges, like grouping by week or month or quarter or year, and it'll be fully accessible. The next thing is export to formatted Excel, also known as printable view, is targeted for Summer 18 in Lightning. You can also view joined reports. That'll be in beta status. You should be able to see report run page optimizations. A few things, like people have been saying that being able to hide or show details takes about 3 clicks right now in Lightning. We're going to try to optimize that so it's brought to the forefront so you can just toggle it on or off. You'll see subscriptions have more functionality so that now you can send it to specific sets of roles of people and public groups. And then you can also customize your reports and dashboards tabs.
Awesome. What about questions? What does our Trailblazer community have to say about all of this?
All right, I see we have about 4 minutes left, so I'm going to take 4 questions and then see what happens. I'm going to go one from each category so we can give some love back to the front of the webcast here. So first for Stephen, this is a question about the LinkedIn integration. Do you have to have a LinkedIn paid license, like a premium license, or will it work with the standard LinkedIn as well?
I mean, if you have campaigns set up with LinkedIn, you can definitely have that run through Salesforce. You don't have to do anything extra, and it should work through as well. We're also working on a Sales Navigator integration as well, so if you're interested in that, you can reach me offline as well.
Great. And then for Anand, Carrie was asking if the Lightning Dialer is it included in Sales Cloud, or is it an add-on, and how do you get it?
Lightning Dialer is an add-on product.
For most editions, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then Alan was asking, so again, some love for the international market. What about European support for account insights?
That's on our roadmap. Let me reach out to the PM to get you a specific answer on where it'll land.
Okay, gotcha. Now, if this is for Liz, Emma said, did you say that each user can set 5 reports to subscriptions, and is there a per org limit?
Great question. It's the same as for reports. So in dashboards, yes, each user can subscribe to up to 5 dashboards. There is no org limit.
So is it the same for report subscriptions? 5?
Yes.
5 per user.
Report subscriptions are the same as well. 5 per user and no org limit.
All right. I see we have 2 more minutes, so let me see if I can get a couple more. So one more for Anand. This is from Dan, can you hide that a call is being monitored? So with Lightning Dialer, so let's say you don't want the rep to know that you're listening in and you just want to pop in and see how they're performing when they don't know someone's listening.
No, not today. You cannot hide that, but that is great feedback. Call monitoring is a beta feature, and we definitely encourage Lightning Dialer customers to try it out. And this piece of feedback is what we are seeking. So definitely reach out, look at the release notes, and we've got a channel for communication. But this is great feedback. So.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you to our product managers for joining and presenting all this incredible information. And thank you to our Trailblazer community for making this broadcast incredible. Keep your questions coming. We'll be popping in there and answering them all throughout this release. And please, we would love your feedback. And how can we improve this? What was great for you? So take the survey and give us your feedback. Also, this has been recorded. So if you enjoyed this, if you got value out of it, go ahead and share it with your colleagues, share it with your friends. And also, don't forget to join us for tomorrow, where we will be covering platform. So we're looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow, same time, same channel, Salesforce Release Readiness Live.